What is going on, community? This is TJ, aka Flash by Night, welcoming you back to Keeping Up with the Comics. Before we go too far forward, I'm making a slight change to Keeping Up with the Comics. I've been trying to stay mostly spoiler free, but I think I'm going to move them back a little bit later in the week and maybe drop a spoiler or two to kind of help me review a little bit better. We'll see how that works. It may stick, it may not, but we are going to get on with it. And the first book I want to keep up with today is Transformers Shattered Glass, issue number 2. So what we're finding out in this book, for those who haven't read it, Transformers Shattered Glass is basically an alternate universe story where the Decepticons are, I'm going to say, not as good. I'm still hesitant to say they're good, but they're not as bad as they're usually portrayed. But the Autobots definitely aren't the good guys in this story. They are pretty much running an oppressive government on Cybertron, and Starscream is attempting to basically turn things around. So in issue number 3, we get the chance to basically move forward with this plot that Starscream has with Megatron to try and turn things around, but also we get a nice look at Starscream's background, because this Starscream is I think he's very different. I don't know much about Starscream's background in Transformers proper, but I would not imagine that Starscream in that universe or in traditional storytelling is who he is here, because in this universe Starscream is an activist. In this universe, Starscream is an activist and a historian, and he believes, along with Jetfire, before Decepticons and Autobots, before all of that, he believes that these Titans, if you're not familiar with like Trypticon and Fortress Maximus, robots like that, he believes that these Titans hold the keys to the history of Cybertron and holds the information that will bring Cybertron back to its glory. And he is petitioning Orion Pax, who later becomes Optimus Prime. He's petitioning Orion Pax to get the council, to get the ruling government to kind of get on his side, help out, contribute to his work as a activist and as a historian, and also as the only person apparently with a spark strong enough to maybe bring one of these Titans back to life. He's petitioning for their help. But Orion, being in this oppressive government, has other ideas. He'd like to help out if they would turn their work over to the government. I think this story really probably would resonate with a lot of people today. I don't do politics on my channel. I try not to do politics, period, with comic books, because politics is ugly right now. But this looks a lot and sounds a lot like some of the things going on today. But that's kind of where he was in the past. As I said, teamed up with Jetfire, because that's going to be interesting going forward. But in the present, he and Megatron are basically invading Autobot space to try and get to Fortress Maximus, because Starscream still has this belief that even in the future, even after the wars, after Cybertron is decimated, after the place is run by warlords now, he still believes that the future of Cybertron lives in the Titans and lives in Fortress Maximus. And so he has to, in order to get to him, kind of go through the Autobot headquarters and runs into I hate that Blaster is evil now, but runs into Blaster and his robot tapes, if you remember them back from the 80s cartoon, and he and Megatron basically have it out with them to get freedom. I don't want to tell you how it ends, but I also don't know how it ends for one of the characters. But we end up finding Fortress Maximus at the end, and then there is a kind of climactic ending with the longest knife you could ever stick in anyone's back, sticking in someone's back, and we will see how that leads us to Transformers Shattered Glass issue number 4. But that's kind of what I got out of Transformers Shattered Glass issue number 3. It was really fun. It wasn't as action-packed as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 were really action-packed. Number 3 kind of slowed us down and told us, more of the history of where this divide and where this world comes from. But we also get to move forward a little bit and inch closer to what should be a solution. We'll see how that solution works out in issues number 4 and finally issue number 5. But good book overall. I'm still enjoying it. The next book I want to keep up with is Robin issue number 7. I grabbed the A cover. As some of you may know, I am trying to grab the B cover for all of these Robins, but I've hit a couple of bumps in the road for issues 6 and 7. But I do have the A cover, and I did really enjoy this book. I've been enjoying the story. First off, you got Robin and Flatline kind of on the cover of a manga, because Robin reads manga. And that's kind of a hint at what we get, but not as simple. So we start off, of course, we're in this tournament to the death, and we start off with Robin getting caught, basically yanked back by Respawn with his chain, because Robin is fighting on 2 fronts, right? He's fighting this tournament, but also he's trying to figure out what this character, Mother Soul, has going on in this tournament, what she's trying to do, because it's not just a tournament to the death just because. There's a reason behind it. And he's kind of figured it out. He's trying to spread the message to others while in the middle of a death tournament, which is really, really interesting, because, like I said, now you got to fight on 2 fronts. But what we get is being a death tournament, and being that Robin, of course, goes forward. We kind of know what happens to Respawn, or do we know what happens to Respawn? That's a good question that this book kind of poses to us. But also, we get a little bit of flirting and a little bit of relationship, we'll call it, between Robin and Flatline. Really interesting. And I'm not quite sure where the book leaves that relationship off also, because it poses a lot of questions, but it also gives you a lot of things. What it does do is since Robin knows all of this, knows who Mother Soul is now, knows her purpose, the book kind of lays all that out flat, so you know what's going on, what the purpose is behind the tournament, and she doesn't mind Robin knowing all of these secrets behind her tournament. That's kind of how confident she is. But fast forward to the end of the book, and we have Robin basically at the end of the day meeting Connor Hawk, or they call him Hawk. I'm not sure if this is Connor Hawk or not. I'll have to look into that. But Hawk versus Robin part 2, because of course part 1, Hawk threw him over a cliff, which was really interesting. And Ra's al Ghul came and kind of nursed him back to health. But that's neither here nor there. Robin issue number 7 was another good entry into this book, written by Joshua Williamson. I'm really glad we're into it. I grabbed it starting off because after the Flash run, my official stance is in Joshua Williamson we trust, and this was a good choice to trust him with. So that was Keeping Up with the Comics. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. I'm actually interested in whether or not you like the new format, whether I'm going on just a little bit too much, I'm giving away a little too much, if I'm not doing enough. Whatever you think of the new way I'm trying to do this, go ahead and leave a comment. Good, bad, ugly. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But if you enjoyed yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me, keeping up with the comics, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. As a reminder, the comment section is there. Feel free to use it. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.